Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome back to our Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader Let's Play for this slightly delayed episode, for which I do apologize, but it's a crazy time of year, folks, so I hope you understand exactly why there was a slight delay, but we're back now in the boots of Mr. Trader himself. Now, last session I asked you if you thought we should stay on footfall and pursue some of these additional last-minute quests and rumors that we came across about these caches in the old bridge and the cache in the former lantern, or if we should leave those behind and get on board the Tattered Spirit, which is now repaired, and see what else awaits us in the greater sector. Now, I got quite a few comments with regards to that question, but one in particular stood out to me, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it more or less said, why don't we go ahead and leave those remaining mysteries on footfall behind and head on out. That way we'll have something to look forward to, something to explore, some mysteries for when the game actually releases and we have access to the final build. And I quite like the sentiment there, because yeah, it would be nice to leave some things uncovered for when the final build of the game is in our hands. Now, a lot of other things might change between now and then as well, of course, but if these things stay consistent, it'd be nice to not have all the answers when the time actually comes. So with that in mind, folks, let's go ahead and make our way to the Tattered Spirit and see, yes, what the rest of the sector holds for us. I'm quite curious to see all the other systems that we haven't yet explored. There's, again, combat between spaceships. There's the whole exploration stuff. There's the whole actual being a trader aspect of things. So very curious to see what other systems are in place. And I just want to mention really quickly, folks, if you have an opinion on that decision or any opinions on anything in general, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a comment down below. Again, I do read all of the comments, whether they are with regards to how you'd like to see things played differently, or they're in regards to what you're enjoying. They help me, just kind of get a better feel for what people are liking on the channel and how I can adjust my approach and what adjustments, would ensure people are having a better time watching. Sorry, I'm just thrown off a little bit because I'm pretty sure this is our ship, but it looks as though our exit is being blocked over there. Very, very curious about what's going down there. So we'll take a look at that, but before we kick off a cutscene or something, I just want to see if there's anything we've missed up over here before we leave. Just a quick once over before we depart. But yeah, folks, as I was saying, if you have any thoughts or opinions you'd like to share, go ahead and do so in the comments down below. Whether this episode released a week ago or a year ago, I will read comments as they come through, and they will adjust my overall approach on the channel across the board, so it does make a difference. And again, if you've been enjoying this series in particular, please don't hesitate to leave a like down below as well, because it lets me know again what people are liking on the channel. All right, nothing over here, eh? All right, fine. Let's go ahead and engage with these questionable individuals who seem to be blocking my approach here. And Heinrichs, who are you? I don't recognize the name from before. And why have you brought these bridge guards to block my way? Are you blocking my way? You are blocking my way. A familiar figure turns to you. Heinrichs van Kallox, interrogator of the Ordo Xenos, bows his head respectfully. Lord Captain. Oh, this was the guy on our ship. Okay. That's why I didn't remember his name, because we interacted with him like once and then never again. But fair enough. I'm sure in the full game I'd be a lot more familiar with him because of the first act. But fair enough. We have here an Inquisitor, or an interrogator, in front of us, working for, yes, the Inquisition, the Ordo Xenos specifically. That, for those of you that don't know, deals specifically with, well, aliens, hence the Xenos. There are three orders of the Inquisition: Malleus, which deals with demons; Hereticus, which deals with heretics; and Xenos, which deals with aliens in particular. Nonetheless, back to this conversation over here. Lord Captain, he says. Abelard says, honored interrogator, what a surprise. Did you, perchance, leave something in your cabin? Not at all, First Officer Veresarian. I'm not in the habit of leaving a trail, but I thank you for your concern. I'm pleased to see you again, Heinrichs. Heinrichs allows himself a hint of a smile. I'm glad to hear that my presence aboard your ship did not leave you with any unpleasant memories. I hope your disposition won't change once I've explained the reason for my visit. Now, I'm a little concerned because we are technically harboring a heretic, though we're doing so to give them an opportunity to repent, right? So hopefully this isn't about that. But out with it, Heinrichs. What's going on here? I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that transpired on Rykad Minoris. I also received some information from my agents regarding the movements and actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we're assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to their findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds. This time yours, Lord Captain. Heinrichs clears his throat and begins in a pointedly official tone. By the order of Lord Inquisitor Javier Calcazar, whose duty it is to stand sentinel over the Coronis Expanse, the rogue trader of House von Valancius is to take on board the agent of the Most Holy Inquisition and provide escort and support in deeds great and small that serve to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies. This decree is effective immediately upon announcement and remains in effect until decided otherwise by His Excellency Calcazar. Idira whispers. Idira's whisper is barely audible, and yet we can hear her from a whole entire part of the docks over here. All I got from it is that ridding ourselves of this snitch won't be easy. I can't really say no, can I? Or what exactly caused this need to rejoin my crew? Or, Heinrichs, would you mind translating the torrent of verbiage you just unleashed upon me? I feel like none of these three really match us exactly because, it wasn't all that confusing. We understand official speak. We're a former Commissar. Of course we understand that. I don't really feel like I would even want to say no. This is an honorable responsibility, and I think I would be very glad to take it on. And even 3 feels that way. What exactly caused this need to rejoin my crew? They all kind of seem a little, more negative than I actually assume my character to be. But nonetheless, what exactly caused this need to rejoin my crew? We can go ahead and say that this is a bit more information gathering as opposed to expressing disdain. Maybe that's what this is supposed to be. But yes, what exactly caused this need to rejoin my crew? The cause is the activity of humanity's enemies, including the Cult of the Final Dawn. In my absence, the situation in the Coronis Expanse has changed. I have received an exhaustive report from my agents. This heresy has taken root in the region where the von Valancius worlds lie. You probably already know about the fate of the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. If not, then I will share what details I know, but not here. Better to talk on board, where we will not be overheard. Now, I'm trying to remember here, isn't Kiava Gamma the one that we were already hearing rumors about? I'm trying to recall, but that name sounds awfully familiar. We'll check our rumors later on, but we have what options here? I, Rogue Trader von Valancius, welcome the agent of the Golden Throne, etc., etc. Or we can say a sanctioned psycho with an Inquisitorial rosette in my retinue, for free no less. The other Rogue Traders will be positively green with envy. Or I'm not fond of the methods used by the Inquisition, but I will assist you in any way I can. Or I object to such use or such an abuse of power by the Inquisition. I'm a Rogue Trader, not some peasant to be pushed around. Again, loyalty to the Imperium is of the topmost order for me, isn't it? I think, again, like I was saying earlier, I would be quite honored to host Heinrichs and a servant, or an agent, I suppose, of the Golden Throne aboard my ship. Yes, I, Rogue Trader, Mr. Rogue Trader von Valancius, welcome the agent of the Golden Throne aboard my ship and take on the responsibility of assisting him in the fight against the evil that threatens humanity. I feel as though we just haven't yet let go of who we were to replace it with who we currently are as a Rogue Trader. You know what I mean? We're still holding on to those glory days of fighting the enemies of the Imperium of Man. So, yes, welcome aboard. Heinrichs gives a reserved nod, an answer befitting a righteous servant of the Emperor. If duty has brought you aboard the Rogue Trader's ship once more, then such is the Emperor's will. Welcome back, Interrogator. Thank you, sister. It is an honor to be traveling with one of the blessed Adeptus or Sororitas. Always struggle with that word. Master Van Calox. Cassia's voice is brimming with genuine joy, which he immediately hides behind a facade of high-born primness. Since you are with us once more, I do hope you will find time to finish our conversation about the literary works of Kronhaller the Blessed. I will make every effort, Lady Orselio. I must also deliver this to you. Heinrichs pulls out a sealed letter. The Lord Inquisitors specified that the contents of this envelope are for your eyes only. I would ask you to read it as soon as you have the time. Letter from Lord Inquisitor Javier Calcazar. Very well. That is everything for the time being. Are you headed to the ship, or do you still have business on footfall? Whatever the case, I can either wait for you on board or accompany you as part of your retinue. You can go back on board. We have a few more individuals to level up, of course, when we get back on the ship. Not just him, but our heretic friend as well. Our soon-to-be our repenting heretic friend as well. Let's call her that. Jay, I believe her actual name is. But for the time being, we're fine as we are, because we are going to leave for the Tattered Spirit shortly. But first, I would very much like to take a look at this letter that was handed to me. Will I find it here? Yes, I will. Letter from Lord Inquisitor Javier Calcazar. May the Emperor's faithful forever remain in the light of his favor. Let me first express my condolences on the tragic death of the most honorable Theodora von Valancius. Nevertheless, I was elated to learn that the warrant of the rogue trader has been passed on to a worthy and promising heir. These words are not hollow compliments, but rather the Inquisition's official opinion of your person. As fate would have it, you have taken the reins of the von Valancius dynasty in an hour most dire, when grim portents of dark events to come are surfacing throughout the Coronis expanse. I have been duty-bound to become the first sentinel who sees the approaching threat, and I hereby alert you that it is indeed coming. Our loyalty and resolve will be tested. People such as you and I will become the pillars that will unite the Emperor's frightened children and inspire them to fight back. And so, I greet you as my dependable ally and assure you of my favor. From now on, you have a trusted friend within the holy orders of the Emperor's Inquisition and a receptive confidant on whom you can rely. Should the dark times ahead require you to make questionable choices, have no doubt that such an incident will be examined in an exceedingly temperate fashion that rules out the most radical forms of judgment. I have faith in the success of our partnership and thank you for your contribution, both past and future. Lord Inquisitor Javier Calcazar. Alright, good stuff. That's going to be very helpful in allowing us to skirt the law in a few ways if and when we deem it absolutely necessary, and only if and when we deem it absolutely necessary, of course. Nonetheless, we're done. Let's head on over to the bridge and make our way out, yes, to the greater world out there. Quite curious to see what opportunities lie ahead as Idira joins us, and we depart. Vigdis Suri Ata. Lord Captain, the ship repairs are complete. The tech priests are reporting the machine spirits are calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel. Except, there is an issue you must be made aware of. Cassia makes a quick, nervous gesture, adjusting the adornment over her third eye. I have been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I wanted to double-check the route to Dargonis and discovered that it does not match the one recorded in the Atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for traveling. To make matters worse, I started checking the paths from the Atlas, one after the other, and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm, bursting with vivid and screaming colors. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Interesting. Gained some experience from that. I assume that's not the result of a successful check, but instead the result of just progress through the story. Now this is quite curious indeed, and I'm wondering why, for game mechanics purposes, they set this up. Is it so that there is an air of mystery when we travel through the Coronis Expanse? Maybe. Nonetheless, this is quite curious and quite worrying as well, and quite exciting for the greater story of the game. All right, fair enough. Argenta angrily chops the air with the side of her palm. Warp storms are our enemies, just like heretics and demons. It is a shame they can't be dispersed with a flamer or a bolter. Now we can be certain that problems with astropathic communication in the Coronis Expanse are no coincidence. There is a warp disturbance in your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate the key worlds of the von Valancius trade empire as soon as possible. I am talking about Yanis, Dargonis, and Kiava Gamma. Charting new routes so they can be reached and restoring control will be necessary next steps. Gotcha. That's the setup. Okay, cool. What would the consequences of losing contact with these worlds be? A world deprived of connection to its neighboring systems and the Coronis Expanse's infrastructure can only rely on itself, and their capabilities are often limited. For example, Yanis does not have a fleet of its own. Pirates, cultists, heretics, Xenos, anyone could prey on the helpless planet. The loss of communication is a threat to your position. A rogue trader with no trade empire to back them is one that grows weaker by the day. The Voxmaster is entirely correct. You are Rogue Trader von Valancius, the successor to Theodora von Valancius, one of the most influential women this side of the Maw. But you are also new to the business of governing. Many will doubt your competence and try to carve up your empire so they can snatch a piece for themselves. It is important to show your potential allies and foes that you are in control of the situation. Which is why the sooner we reclaim these lost worlds, the better. Very intriguing. Tell me about Yanis. The surface of Yanis was altered extensively so that the planet could be designated an agri-world. It is a powerful food base, capable of supplying the burgeoning trade empire and exporting provisions to the outer worlds at the same time. Yanis owes much of its prosperity to the governor, House of Viat. Under its leadership, the world has grown ever more prosperous year after year, securing shipments and taxes while keeping the workforce tightly controlled. Now, Yanis is important to us to fulfill the demands of the Liege of Footfall. Let's not forget they're suffering from a food situation, and Yanis is clearly the solution to that situation. Now, what is Kiavagama? Kiavagama is being managed by the Governor House of Gaprak and supplies your empire with rare mineral resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus Manufactorum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. Very well. Pascal says, I testify that Kiavagama is a world marked by the Omnisci's patronage. By his grace, the manufactorums of the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Heinrichs coughs slightly. Mistress Ptolemy neglected to mention that the Kiavagama Manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery, from forage harvesters to vessel systems and components. Abelard turns his hard eyes on Heinrichs. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capability, Van Kallox. Happy to be of service. Alright, and what do I need to know about Dargonus? Dargonus is the heart and soul of your empire. It is where the main administrative resource and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Valancius Palace. If you would like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. Dargonus is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. Alright, Abelard, as my seneschal, what is your opinion? Which world should we deal with first? Abelard strokes his beard for a few seconds before giving a hesitant reply. Rediscovering the agri-world will supply your trade empire with something none of your servants can do without. Sustenance. The importance of basic supplies should not be underestimated. Just look at Footfall in its current pitiful state. I agree with Abelard. That is a crucial resource, and it'll also allow us to help the people of Footfall as well, right? So that's two birds with one stone. One rock, I suppose, Yanis being the rock. On the other hand, I'm concerned by the rumors concerning Kiavagama. There have been no problems on Yanis for many years, but something is very wrong with the industrial world right now. Delay may cost us the entire planet. God damn it, Abelard. I thought you were... Come on. I asked you for a direction, not multiple. If I wanted to confuddle myself with multiple options, I could have done that myself. And I'm sure he's going to have a reason to, yes, go to the capital world as well. I trust I do not have to explain the capital world. Losing it would make us the laughingstock of the other dynasties. Besides, the loss of chronicles and ledgers would spell a bureaucratic catastrophe. So all three systems are equally vital to the Empire. It falls to you to decide which should be brought into the fold before the rest, Lord Captain. Completely useless, Abelard. That was completely useless. Thank you very much. Very well, our course is clear. Do my officers have any other issues that require immediate attention? That is all, Lord Captain. The vessel and the crew await your instructions and are ready to depart Footfall immediately, should you so desire. Alright, we got an important decision to make over here, but before we make it, there was a conversation I'd promised Argenta, right? Let's take a look at the map over here, and let's seek out Argenta. Where you at? There we go. Because I would like to, get some clarification as to exactly what's been going on with her whole history, right? And I'm not going to engage with all of our crew. Again, I want to leave some mystery for the final build. Learning about our individual party members and stuff like that I think is exciting, but unless it gets brought to our attention or something particular happens during our playthrough right now, I don't think I'm going to engage. But again, let me know what you think about that in the comments down below as we dive into this conversation with Argenta. Sister Argenta greets you with the slightest half bow. Lord Captain, I'm glad you came. And I wish to apologize for my prior coldness. After our first meeting, I was concerned that you would turn out to be another rotten offshoot of the Von Valancius family tree, like the traitor Conrad. But now I see before me a worthy leader and servant of the Imperium. I'm glad to be your comrade. Let's see. I would like to discuss Salus Prime and the relic that you want to find. I wish you to leave my entourage in my ship. Wow, that's rude. Thank you for this conversation. Until next time. No, are you ready to tell me more about yourself now? If such is the rogue trader's wish, although there isn't much I can tell, I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to know? I want to know your history with regards to Footfall. Well, thank you for your candor. I would like to discuss Salus Prime and the relic that you want to find. I guess that's, drilling right down to the specific conversation, so I don't know why I skipped that as my first option. I would like to discuss Salus Prime and the relic that you want to find. Of course. My mission is all I can think about. Remind me, what is our mission? Your mission? To find the way to the planet called Salus Prime. Saint Argenta is my patroness, and that is where her fallen ship is. And it must also be the resting place of her great relic, the One Star. Tell me about Saint Argenta, whose relic you're searching for. Gladly. Listen. She begins her tale, her eyes half closed and her voice almost singing. Long ago, there was a blessed world. Thousands of stars covered the sky there, so bright that its denizens hardly knew the darkness of night. Thousands of rivers nurtured the soil, thousands of gardens bloomed every spring, and at every moment, thousands of prayers were flying into the clear air, thanking and praising the Emperor. But one day, the people learned the meaning of darkness. Like a storm, accursed heretics who had sold themselves to the arch-enemy descended upon the planet. Shells flew from the sky that desolated whole cities and burned the gardens and filled the riverbeds with the blood of the faithful. Smoke and soot swallowed the skies and the 1,000 stars that had once shone over the world. Among the handful of survivors was one orphan who had watched all her family die and the garden she'd grown up in burn to ash. But in her heart, she knew the absolute truth. Just these 3 words. The Emperor protects. And knowing that, she never looked away from the black, terrifying, smoke-covered sky. There was no more bright stars to be seen, except for one. The One Star, the bright star, the silver star shone in the sky. And when the orphan smiled at it, the One Star fell right into her hands. All the faithful in every corner of the continent who saw the trail of the falling star recognized it as an omen and went looking for the place where it landed. And they rallied together, and with the light of the One Star, they found their salvation. The girl from the story. That was Saint Argenta. Yes, that was the beginning of her hagiography. It is known that she lived in a world where heretics staged a terrible insurrection. They wiped out all life on the planet, except those whom Saint Argenta managed to save with the One Star, and with the strength of her faith. After that, she traveled between worlds, gripped by turmoil on her ship marked with the Silver Star, and brought hope to the faithful. Numerous accounts confirm this. Her coming helped people turn the tide of the war and wipe away corruption before the main Imperial forces even arrived. Millions of people owed their lives to her, but the heretics, having realized their imminent defeat, sent the remnants of their forces after the ship with the Silver Star. It fell from the skies and crashed on an obscure world. There are no definitive records of how old Argenta was at the time. In some chronicles, she's even called the Child Saint, but their credibility is questionable. Either way, she didn't live long, but she left a bright trail in her wake, like a falling star. So what is this One Star? Oh, if only I knew. Neither the hagiography nor the legends give a straight answer. Classical iconographers believe that the star turned into a banner woven from silver thread, which, when brought onto the battlefield, would shed light that blinded only heretics but did no harm to the faithful. Most of them portrayed Saint Argenta as a young woman carrying this banner. Others think that upon falling from the sky, the One Star became a holy chainsword, which Argenta later used to strike down monsters and enemies of the Imperium. In some of the earlier engravings, Argenta is depicted wearing power armor with a silver star on her chest. One theological theory suggests that this armor was in fact the relic. Some even think that the One Star is actually the ship on which Argenta traveled. Her eyes gleam. I will be so happy to have finally found the answer that the Ecclesiarchy has been pondering for millennia. I hope we find the way to Salus Prime soon. The ruinous powers must be working against us on purpose. They stand in the way of faith. I have no more questions. Okay, I'm misremembering then. I thought that was related to her prior misgivings, or am I thinking about the wrong person entirely now? I'm not. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of thrown off. But thanks for this conversation. Until next time. I'm pretty sure that was Argenta, right? That we wanted to have that conversation with, not Jay. It wasn't Cassia. It was Argenta who wanted to kill that one heretic, right? The ones that the leader among the ones who brought the pink horror about. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't think I am, but nonetheless, that is what it is. Nothing to be found there, I suppose. To the map we go, I suppose, or is there something else we need to be doing over here? Let's take a look at our journal. Let's take a look at some of these rumors over here. So again, Xenos on the Rampage and the Coronis. Does that say anything about us? No. Space Marines and the Coronis? Nope. Doesn't say anything about us. Calamity on Von Valancius Industrial World. Yes, so Kiava Gamma was brought up. Or is this a more recent rumor? I feel like Kiava Gamma was brought up by those refugees as well, the ones whose deaths we arguably commissioned. Nonetheless, it is what it is. Let's take a look at our quest over here. Hunger's Hand, we're aware of that. Reclaim what was lost. So we could restore shipments from Yanis, deal with the disrupted shipments from Kiava Gamma, or restore the operation of the administrative apparatus on Dargonis. Man, you know, I feel like Yanis, again, two birds with one stone. As I was saying, I would like to arrive, for example, on Dargonis after having resecured the rest of my empire. Imagine being, you know, crowned rogue trader, or whatever the right terminology is. Imagine being officiated as rogue trader and then being asked, so what is the situation on Yanis? And not having an answer, not even being able to like point to Yanis on a map, right? That would be quite embarrassing. So I think we actually have to deal with Yanis and Kiava Gamma first before we return to Dargonis and actually officially, so to speak, become the rogue trader, right? Let's go ahead and yeah, how do I, there we go. Take a look at the map. Oh, okay, I guess I gotta hold tab to actually expose that button. Let's see the Coronis Expanse map, and let's map out our next moves, I suppose, to get some of these quests going. Really excited to explore the scale of this this game here. Click the button in the upper right corner for a warp translation. Upper right corner, okay. Accept. I don't see any button up over there. I imagine things are going to be explained to us first, but what do we have here? High Factorum Yanris Danrock. Lord Captain, I bring great news for your lordship. We are once more within reach of the Von Valancius trade empire. The Astropathic Choir humbly stands ready to send your orders to servants of the dynasty and the planetary rulers of your colonies. Developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. All this is now your privilege and burden. Very well. What do we have here? So top right corner, back to the bridge, settings, warp travel. Ah, there we go. That's the button I was being told to look for. But we have Alter EXT17, where we can perform a scan before we leave this this solar system. Why not do that? How do I actually move to Alter? Oh, there we go. Left click, not right click. Make our way over. Should just take us a short amount of time, and then we can warp travel to one of the actual important destinations as far as our empire is concerned. A scan is required. Can we do one from out over here? Yes, we can. Begin scan. And what will this actually reveal to us? I'm quite curious. We'll gain some XP. That's always helpful. It's been added to our encyclopedia. Okay, good stuff. Are there any resources available over here, or no? Nothing, no resources, so this is completely useless to us. Very well, let's go ahead and close that then. And yes, make our way to the warp travel screen and decide where to head next. Yanis is what we're chasing after, but where is Yanis? Do we know? This is the way to the Imperium. This is, oh, interesting. I can't even zoom out any further to see where anything actually is. What is this now? Navigator's Insight. Interesting. Winterscale's Realm. All right, fair enough. Where's the Von Valancius realm? I hope we have a nice big indicator for that as well. Could I scan? I suppose that's the right next move. +1 Navigator's Insight, which will increase this, but I imagine it comes with some kind of a threat as well, potentially. Go ahead and scan. There we go. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So again, the Navigator, navigates, but they need to tap into the warp and stuff to actually be able to direct us. So where can we go? Soto's Tomb, Avioris, Cradle of Kefri, System Speculo, Omicron, Trinitos. Wow, are we actually like completely unaware of where we need to go? The Coronis Expanse, Foundling Worlds. What do we have? I wish I could zoom out a bit more. Unbeholding Reaches, that sounds oddly threatening. God Emperor's Scourge, that also sounds a little scary. Cauldron, of course, sounds terrifying. Winterscale's realm is over here. Why would we not map our own realm on our own map? Heathen stars, accursed domain. Okay, cool. Cool, that's cool. All right, why don't we go ahead and move towards Trinitos? Can we get up to System Speculo? Chart the course. Or, ooh, interesting. Warp route difficulty determines the probability of encountering enemies. Press to reduce difficulty. At the cost of what? At the cost of what? I'm quite curious. Two skulls sounds reasonably scary. This is one skull, this is no skulls. Cradle of Kefri, we have to chart courses. Again, adding to our insight over here. But what danger comes with additional navigator's insight? That's my question. That's my curiosity. Okay, let's head on over to Soto's tomb then. Make our first warp jump a safe one. And see what goes down when we arrive at Soto's tomb. Interesting. This is an uncharted system. Would you like to visit it? Sure. What could possibly go wrong? We have an ice world over here. Again, we can scan all these and maybe find some additional places to establish colonies and things like that. Really kind of flying somewhat blind, I suppose you could say, over here. Over to the ice world. Let's begin our scan. Doesn't take too long, and hopefully we're not going to be in trouble because of time being wasted. Giant question mark over here. Plasteel is available as well. Can I actually do... I can spend one something to start extracting plasteel. Or what do we have here? Imperium cartographers and chroniclers know this place well. Long ago, the planet was a prosperous Imperium outpost capable of eclipsing footfall. There was a Cyclopean tomb station on its orbit, the final resting place of Cornelius Soto, one of the discoverers of the Cronus Expanse. It gave its name to the entire system. Okay, so that's just information. Ooh, no, what is this? However, about 400 years ago, an unknown cosmic body rammed into the station, causing it to collapse onto the planet. Not only did the catastrophe kill the settlers, it also made the world uninhabitable for centuries. The crater formed by the station's impact can still be observed from orbit. Soto's tomb became a sepulchre for the entire planet. This sordid place has neither loot nor company, but knowledge of the nasty tricks that life can pull is a treasure in its own right. Did that gain us anything? Not in particular. I assume this spend one blank over here is these guys that we've acquired, these mobile extractiums. Sure, why not? Why don't we go ahead and accept that? Yep, producing 5 plasteel per, I don't know what, per tick, let's call it for the time being. And sure, we're now mining at this ice world. An iconic location, makes sense. Head on down to the space dust over here. Will that trigger anything for us, or is it just more of a marker? Oh, you've received a cargo energy battery. Press B if you want to open cargo screen. I mean, plasma batteries created, capacity 100%. I assume I can press not C. Is it? Oh, it is B. Right, for our cargo, and I assume that is a new addition over here, plasma batteries. Yeah. Alright, cool. We can trade that with people if you want to. So there is value to, yes, roaming around and picking up space dust and things like that. More energy battery has been received. Okay, sounds good to me. Back to warp travel, I suppose. It is interesting. Not exactly how I envisioned warp travel to play out, but hey, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and scan once more. That's not to pass a judgment call or anything like that. It's just not what I had expected. Can we chart a course to Omicron over here? I just don't know. I hope I'm not going in the entirely wrong direction. I'm quite concerned that I probably am, and I should be heading towards Winterscale's realm instead. Why don't we chart a course to the Cradle of Kepri? Not enough. Ah, I see. So we want to collect insight in order to chart courses to more distant realms, I suppose. Let's go ahead and reduce warp route difficulty over here just to see what that does. Ah, I see. So it costs us, I assume, some insight to make travel, yes, a bit safer. Gotcha. Cool. It's starting to make sense. Over to Avioris. Let's go ahead and explore this system as well. A lot of loading screens now, and oh my goodness, we got some pirates, we got a steppe world, a drifting void ship, gas giant, burning world, and a jungle world. Lots to explore, lots to get distracted by. Over to the steppe world, and we'll see what comes up when we engage these pirates as well, I suppose. But at the steppe world, we see what? The Augur team reports that several pirate ships are closing in at top speed. Beware, there is almost no time left to retreat. We could flee to the warp, or we could attack the pirates, and you know what? I say we attack the pirates. Alright. an opportunity to engage now in ship-to-ship combat. We have 6 party members who are active at any given time, and I do believe they can each sort of get one thing happening as far as their abilities are concerned, and then we also have the ship's own capabilities as well. Alright, I do wonder how this will play out. We have, what, reinforcements, or no, just another enemy. 50 HP up there. What do we have down over here? 50 HP, and we have 215 ourselves, so we should be okay. Now, what are our options? Restart shields. We have the Mars pattern macro battery. We have our, again, that's on the starboard side. Then this on the port side is the other Mars pattern macro battery, and then on the dorsal side, we have Mezoa macro cannons. Fair enough, dealing 10 damage per each shot. And that goes for you guys and for you guys as well. Meanwhile, on the prow, we have the Mezoa lance weapon and the Vosk pattern torpedo tubes as well. I mean, I suppose we fight like a ship of the line, go straight down and engage on both sides, and ideally we'd have more ships behind us, but instead we just have a lot of HP. How do I do anything? Let's see, swing run. The starship flies in a straight line, performing the U-turn at the end of its movement. Don't think that's necessary. We can just simply move forward. And that's our movement points there, and that's our action points there. This will all cost 0 AP. This stuff will cost some AP, eh? Alright, gotcha. Scan weakness. Okay, all incoming damage from the weak side increases by 30% for 2 turns, after scanning an enemy ship to highlight its weak points. Only one weakness may be highlighted at a time. Cooldown is random between 1 to 3 rounds. Okay, interesting. Let's go ahead and move up all the way then. I see no reason not to. It'll consume all of our movement points, but seems like the right call. And then from there, we could fire at this ship. It's just out of reach. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and move up to here instead? Will we? No, that'll give us a terrible angle. Same thing over here. We could use our dorsal macro cannons instead. And I just wonder, curious about how this will actually work. So, sure, let's go ahead and use our Mezoa macro cannons to fire at this. Up we go. Turn around and fire away. Nice. Bit of damage done there. We should be able to use our Mezoa lance weapon as well to get the job done over here a little bit further. Fire away. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So there is shields and hull damage separately. Looks as though our initial hits there only damage their shields, though the lance there damage their shields and their hull. We can go ahead and use the Voss pattern torpedo tubes as well. Launch torpedo salvo at selected position. They're controllable units which begin to act next turn and deal great damage to enemy ships. Okay, I mean, I guess I could send one over to here, right, while we're dealing with these guys. I was wondering if I should try and scan weakness first, but I just wanted to experiment with our weapons. Can I rotate and then fire? I can. Okay, hang on. So let's try this. Let's rotate. Kind of cool. All right, let's go ahead and scan weakness in this general direction. Cool, we found their weakness. Now we should be able to fire at said weakness. Hopefully this will actually cause some damage. Another salvo indeed, and... oh, good stuff. All right. Oh, that's really beautiful. Now, the pink, like, graphic there, the pink square that grew, that's obviously a placeholder graphic. That's very common for alphas and just pre-release builds to have pink graphics like that. It is a placeholder. I just wanted to point that out in case you're wondering what the hell that was. But yes, it'll be some time before we can engage these pirates. Let's go ahead and launch the torpedo. Because I would like to have control over that, next turn, and maybe get it to do some damage of its own. Good stuff, good stuff. We're ready to go, I think. Swing run flies in a straight line, performing the U-turn at the end. No movement points should be used beyond push phase. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, then we'll end our turn there. I have 1 point left for movement. Let's go ahead and move up then, after having launched these torpedoes, and end our turn there. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Pirates are going to move now. They're going to creep on forward. I assume they're going to shoot if they can face us correctly, and they can't. All right. So it's us and then our... no, it's our torpedo first. Oh, I didn't expect that. Nice. 11 damage. That's not a lot, but easy enough to control. And should we go ahead and do what? I mean, so this is kind of cool, actually. So I can kind of creep up, you know, if I had the angle here, I would have been able to shoot at it, but because of our momentum, I suppose, we can only start turning, you know, so far down the line. But we should... Are we able to shoot? Are we actually able to use scan weakness again? Looks like it. Let's try that. Move on up, scan weakness. Go ahead and see what's going on over here. Right? Oh, its weakness is in the back. Now, do I actually have to be behind it to hit the weakness, or will our... you know, just macro battery here actually hit? The macro battery is just solid projectiles. They're not like missiles that are, you know, tracking a target or anything like that. They're just solid projectiles we're firing out there. So I'm not sure if this will actually hit their weak spot. Looks as though they're just out of reach, actually. If I move up to there, I'll be able to hit it. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Fire away. Ooh. Okay, interesting. I like what they're doing there. Fancy camera angles and stuff. Didn't work perfectly, truth be told, but I like the intent there. But what can we do here? We can't actually rotate fully to be able to hit them. Can I? No, I can't actually go up and U-turn to hit them with my starboard side either. Though, oh, would you look at that? Our dorsal Mizoa macro cannons will be able to strike them. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Now I wonder what this is. Is that shields? Like we've got shields all around? Might be. 9999. These ones don't have a number, but... oh, we've got a 10 up over there. So maybe these outer rings have to do with shields. Again, not entirely familiar with the system just quite yet. I'll be curious to learn it and be more prepared for the next time we engage in a space battle. But for now, let's go ahead and fire away our Mizoa macro cannons. Let's go. Good stuff. Nice. So what was that now? Looks like this, whatever this is down to 5. Can I see my log? No, I can't. Okay, fair enough. You have 4 movement points. Yeah, okay, cool, sure. I suppose we could move. Kind of like allowing them to shoot at us, but this looks like it might be stunned. Why can't I pull up my log? What happened there? It just disappeared on me. The entire UI kind of disappeared on me. It is what it is. Reinforced shields is an option. 1 turn cooldown for scan weakness, so I guess we just end our turn there. This can't hit you. So yeah, end our turn there. Up they go. Away they go. Are you just trying to flee? Huh. I find myself in a rather interesting position trying to chase these guys. Well, we can pop our torpedo here, right? So that it can kind of try and come down as quickly as possible, while we kind of loop around as well and just aren't able to reach them, eh? That's not what I meant. I meant you just aren't able to reach them. Well, nonetheless, we will give chase and see what we can pull off over here. Let's go for it. Very interesting, actually. It's a very interesting system, space battles so far at least, and I'm curious to see how it feels under more threatening circumstances. But for the time being, yes, let's go ahead and end our turn there. You're gonna keep fleeing. I assume there's an escape point somewhere over here. Otherwise, why would they keep going towards the edge there? Now our torpedo goes first. How far can you actually get, or do I just kind of tell you what to hit? No tooltips? No tooltips? No? Okay. What if I right-click on you? Left-click? Anything? Okay, so I gotta give it commands similar to our ship. I don't know why I didn't realize that was actually attached to our torpedoes there. They got a long way to go, those torpedoes, and I'm not sure if they're going to actually make it, or if they have like a limited amount of time to get the job done. If we keep moving forward like this, just out of reach, but the lance should be able to hit them. Let's go for it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And mission accomplished? No. We did completely get rid of the ring on this side though, so that leads me to believe that it is in fact shields. Again, if I had my log, I'd actually take a look at it, but I'm fairly convinced that that's what that represents. It's the only thing that really makes sense. We can't hit it with anything else, unfortunately, so we'll have to wait until our next turn. I assume they're going to keep trying to escape. Yes. Oh man, they can get pretty far pretty quickly, eh? Torpedo moves first. Let's get you down to here, sure. Zigzagging our way towards the actual enemy ship there. And it looks like it can get shot down because it's got like a health bar, but I don't see anything that indicates it has a time limit before it runs out of fuel or anything like that, you know? Alright, fair enough. Let's go ahead and move down to here and use our lance once more to hopefully finish the job. Again, they do have maximum shields back there, but if we use scan weakness, it'll increase incoming damage from the weak side specifically, right? So hopefully the weak side is still the back, or does that get randomized with each check? We'll find out. And if it does in fact work, no, it does change. It is slightly randomized. Okay, so we're not going to be able to actually hit them on their weak side, but this should hopefully get some work done nonetheless. Fire away. Are you for real? You're going to miss? Come on. These can't reach. Okay, fair enough. We could launch another set of torpedoes, I suppose, and hopefully get some work done over here. I do hope that in the final build, if not right now, using, you know, torpedoes costs us something. I hope we have to actually rearm our ship, and it's not just like, yeah, you have infinite torpedoes, you have infinite munitions in general. What's going on here with this camera angle? Okay. Battle is over. Plasma torpedoes die, so they do have a time limit. And I guess the enemy managed to escape. Those guys died as well. What actually happened there? That's got to be it, right? They must have escaped. Fair enough. I'll chalk that up as a win, I suppose. And that's the pirates taken care of. Fair enough. To the step world we go, where I believe a scan is required. Oh, what is this now? Von Valencia's flagship experience gain is now 2. Need 1920 to gain next level. Cool, so our ship itself can level up. That's cool. But what do we have? I mean, a lot of damage to their... I can't make sense of this after the fact unless I want to pore over it, which I don't think I want to spend time during the playthrough doing. Let's begin our scan over here. Doesn't hurt to scan. If they have anything valuable, we'll send some of these mining tools in, but instead we just have a curiosity here, an anomaly, one could say. A small human dwelling stands on this barren, deserted planet. Scouts report that an old hermit lives there who spends his days in prayer to the Emperor. We could ask the old hermit for a blessing. Seems like a good omen. To the Lord Captain's surprise, the old hermit turned out to be a navigator, and when the old man discovered the noble status of his visitor, he willingly recounted his tale. He had retreated to this planet long ago, back when he was still in his youth, after he had realized that his mind would not withstand frequent forays into the immaterium, the realm of the archenemy. The hermit spoke with pride about how he had worshipped the Emperor each and every moment of his life, but when he mentioned the golden light of the Astronomicon, his voice quivered. When his guests left, he stared after them for a long time, his gaze filled with sadness. That's kind of cool, just seeing these random, like, conversations and histories in the world out there. Over to this drifting void ship next. What do we have here? No signal. I'll begin a scan, please. I assume there's stuff to be picked up here. Ooh, can we actually make not landfall, but like ingress, I suppose? We can. We can indeed. Why not? I'm curious. Let's take our usual crew and check this drifting void ship out. What's the worst that could happen? All right. This lighting is very reassuring. Looks like this place is mostly intact. Not much revealed on the map right off the bat, except for this loot over here, which I'll never complain about finding. Where are we? Up over here? I don't think we can reach that from where we stand. I can't see any other points to actually gain access to it. Let's use a tech use up over here. Can we do it from down here? No, we can't. Ooh. Oh, poison runs through your mechanical veins. The path to your goal seems easy as long as you do not turn back. Fire rages in an iron heart. What are you saying, Idira? What are you saying? Stop scaring us as we enter an unknown space and situation. Everything seems, you know, okay, so to speak. I don't see any evidence of heresy. I see evidence of some bloodshed, though. Ooh, what does that say? Oh, you know what? I take back what I said about heresy. I just noticed all the piles of skulls as well. This could be a problem. This could be a problem. We have a door over here. We have a door, I thought, over here as well. This takes us where? I mean, we got the Aquila. This doesn't seem to be altered or damaged or anything like that. Let's take a look. What is this? A formidable-looking door blocks the way into the next module. It is covered in scratches, as if someone clawed at the cold metal for a very, very long time. The door does not respond to your touch and stands fast, refusing to open. The writing above the doorway reads, Main Computing Cathedral. The tech priest blesses himself with a protective symbol, his hand visibly shaking. Shield us, O Machine God, from the evil that has taken hold of your temple. Save us. Preserve us from the corruption. Show us the way. The sacred metal that bars our path is weakened. Let us appeal to the machine spirit of one of the generators so the metal may drink from its blessed energies. There should be one hidden somewhere in this module. Wait. What is this evil you mentioned? The tech priest says nothing for a while. Then, his vox comes to life, but the voice is hoarse, punctuated by static and interference. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. I am merely his servant. I cannot discern what has stricken the abode of the machine god, but I do sense a distortion of the structure, disfigurement of the molecular order. This ship is sick. Further conversing is unproductive. The will of the Omnissiah has brought us to these doors. Thus, our task is clear. Search for a way to proceed beyond so we can discover a means of cleansing these halls. So we could do a tech use check over here to inspect the door mechanism. We could look around, or we could venture further. Let's inspect the door mechanism. See what's going on over here. Tech use was a success. The door and the entire adjacent section of the module have no power. There must be a backup generator somewhere nearby. Once you turn it on, you should be able to proceed. Alright, let's look around real quick. The main thing that catches your eye about this place is the state of the wall panel by the door. They bear numerous scratches, 5 in a row resembling claw marks. Some of the panels look like they could fall off at any moment. Here and there you see the occasional sparks and crackling of the damaged wires behind them. Let us venture further. Well, that's curious to say the least. And we do have this door over here. I have no clue where it actually leads. Alright. Not sure what we've gotten ourselves into, but mention of claws and scratches and a sick ship is definitely concerning, alongside some of these markings on the wall as well. Those do not look like blood splatters, but rather writings in blood. So, little concerned about what we've sort of brought upon ourselves, I suppose. And I suppose we'll find out more next time. Folks, this is where we're going to call it a session. Yes, a little early, but hey, it's nice to have a cliffhanger every once in a while, right? So this will be ours for today. And once we're done with this drifting void ship and this system as a whole, we'll go ahead and try and set a course for Yanis next session. Now, if you have any clue with regards to where we should actually head, I don't think I can actually pull up a system map right now, but if you have any idea where we should actually head, feel free to share in the comments down below, because it'd be nice to kind of have a general idea of where I should be going, so that yes, even as we get distracted along the way, at least we're headed in the right direction, because for the time being, flying kind of blind, which is of course the intent of the game, and that's all very cool and exciting, but I mean, hey, if you guys would rather I fly blind, we can totally do that. If you guys would rather we hurry along, we can totally do that instead. But folks, this is, as I said, where we're calling it a session. I hope you enjoyed this one. I certainly did, and this mysterious situation we find ourselves in is rather intriguing. Nonetheless, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.